So I'm actually out in the wilds of Lana. I'm up some country lane somewhere because I didn't want to do this inside because it's glorious weather outside, and I just wanted a little bit of a change of pace, change of location, especially for what I want to discuss. So today, which is the 17th of May, is the International Day Against Homophobia, and from the title of the video you can probably guess what I'm actually going to come out and say to you lot. And that is that I'm gay. I'm a homosexual. I like men. And the purpose of this video isn't for me just to say that. That's not the point. It's not about me. It's about telling you my story and for other people to get help. Or not get help, but to know that to know people's stories, to know you're not alone, and to know that there's people out and about in the world that will be able to help you. So I first came out on Twitter in February 2013. I actually didn't come to terms with the fact that I was gay until the last year of uni, really, which is really shit. Because during uni, you've got loads of time to discover yourself and to experiment and all that other kind of great stuff, socialise, and it's just a fantastic experience, which is why I really recommend anybody go to university, because it's such a great experience, it really is. And because I came out, but I came to terms with it the last year of uni. It was really shit because at that time I had a dissertation to do and all this other stuff to do, and so I didn't. So I didn't come out to anybody, and that was that. Then a load of people on Twitter and stuff like that just used to keep asking me about, if I was gay or made the assumption that I was straight and stuff, and I had enough. So I just came out and I said it. And actually, you can see the tweet on the screen now, and you can see what I actually said. And from that point onwards, everything got better. I've never had so much positive feedback in all my life. It was both the most nerve-wracking thing to do, to hit that send button, and also the happiest thing I think I've ever done. Until I came out to my parents, but we'll discuss that in a minute. And the fact that I can do that and nobody cares is great. In 2013, that was great. It means that we've come a long way. But it also means we've got a long way to go, because for me, because I have to do that. You can't just announce you've got a boyfriend. You've got to come out. You've got to do it to people, because, well, not necessarily people you work with, because that doesn't matter, but to people that mean a lot to your mates, to your family, because you can't just rock up with a boyfriend and just produce someone and say, this is the person I love, this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with, this is the person that makes me feel the most amazing thing ever. You can't do that. And until such a time where you can do that and people are comfortable with it, then we've got a long way to go. The LGBTQ community, I think, is it Q now? I don't know what the Q stands for. But until such a time when we can just do that, we've got a long way to go. Yeah, we've got equal rights as in terms of marriage and all sorts of other stuff now, which is great. But it still means that we've got a long way to go before we can say that the fight is over. Oh, not the fight, but And then in was it June? I think June 2013. I came out to my parents. I was wanting to come out to my parents for months. Literally months. I came to terms with it, and I was just like, I plucked up the courage and I was like, I'm going to do it. And then I couldn't do it because every time I went home, I'm one of 6 kids, so I've got 5 siblings. Every time I came home, they were there. They were in the way, and they would bugger off out of the way for me just to be able to sit down in front of mum and dad and just come out and say what I wanted to say. And the trouble is as well that my dad worked Fridays and Saturdays, and so it was just mum at home, and I didn't want to just say it just in front of one of them. I wanted to say it in front of both of them, and it got to the stage where I was just so pissed off. I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to ring them up and just say it. And I did. I rang my mum up and we talked about other things, and then I said, I've got something to tell you, and I don't know how you're going to take it, and I just came out and said I'm gay. And her immediate response, far too quickly, she said, that's fine. That's fine. And I said, are you sure that's it? She said, yeah, well, what else more is there to say? And then I came out to my dad, and he said pretty much the same thing, but it took there was a longer pause, and he said, oh, that's fine. We still love you and stuff like that, and that was fine. And then he also said that, oh, well, it was no surprise. And I was like, you cheeky bugger. But that act right there it was the most difficult thing for me to ever do in my entire life emotionally, because it was just really difficult to do, because it was just, I didn't know how those two people, mum and dad, which I was most worried about, I didn't know how they were going to take it. Because other people you don't care about too much, because if they're out in your life, it's just whatever, it's their loss. But mum and dad, that matters a lot. If they disown you or they don't like it, that really does matter, because you've then got nothing to fall back on if you hit hard times. If especially at my current job situation, in December I might be out of work, and at the time I was going to be out of work in August. So, if I got out of work and I couldn't then stay in Plymouth, that would be a real pain in the ass. And because I wouldn't be able to, pardon the pun, but I wouldn't be able to go home to my parents and have that, will you shut up, the biplane? Bugger off out of it. And so, it would have been really difficult if they didn't accept me, for me. But it was really good. It was probably the happiest thing I've ever felt, apart from love. Love is great, that's another thing entirely. But that was amazing. I think I almost cried. I think I did cry at the time, and I was really happy, and it was fantastic. It really was great. But it's difficult. To get to that point is really difficult. To actually accept it yourself is really difficult anyway. Speaking from experience, it is a really difficult thing to do. It's not easy. And that is kind of why I wanted to do this video, because I wanted to share my story with people, and I wanted to make people aware that it was alright. It was fine. It's not so bad. And things do get better, which is why the title of the video is called Things Get Better. It gets better even if I even know the title of the video, which I've not even actually typed into YouTube yet. And it really does get better. Like, trust me, I've not had anything negative from it. It's been fantastic. People have been great and accepting of it, and it's really, really good. And for me, I'm not a camp bloke. I'm not the traditional stereotypical gay guy that goes around, just being overly homosexual and camp and floppy hands, and I don't really care too much for fashion. I mean, I like looking good, but I don't like, keeping up with the latest and greatest in Top Man and all the other bullshit that you have to do as a modern man nowadays. I don't care for any of that. And so I'm a really shit gay bloke, really, because I don't do any of the traditional gay stuff. I hate going to gay clubs because it's full of old, creepy men and overly homosexual guys, and it's just awful. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of it. That's kind of my story, and it's kind of me. Say that the point of this video isn't for me to come out. That's not me coming out to you. That's not the point. People won't like it, and people can suck a dick as far as I'm concerned. I don't care about that. That's not the point. The point is that that people feel that they're not alone. That they feel that it's not just them. That they're not, that they're not experiencing the same stuff that everybody experiences. Because, I mean, yeah, you're all different, but you kind of go through the same sort of stuff. And with that in mind, I'll leave my contact details down below. My email address, azzychill@gmail.com. My kick, which is azzychill as well, and obviously my Twitter handle @azzychill. And you can hit me up and you can talk about things. And obviously I'm not gonna out you, because that's just really bad. Why would I do that? When it's I know it's really difficult myself. Why the hell would I do that? So I'm not going to do that. But just talk to me. If you're experiencing anything, feeling anything, just talk to me. Because and there's loads of. I'll put some links in the description below of places you can get help, or not help, but guidance and advice, and just talk to somebody. Because the act of talking to somebody makes a huge difference. It really does. Just talking about things to people makes a huge difference. And I know that some people won't like it. You know that that's going to happen. Some people are not going to like it, but that's just tough shit. I mean, as much as it's really easy for me to say that, because everybody that I've spoken to is really, really accepting of it, at the same time, once you do it and you find out the people that don't like it and the people that do, then that's fine. It's a big hurdle to get over, but once you're over that, it's a fantastic weight off your shoulders just to come out and say who you are, and what you like, and just come to terms with yourself as a person. And it's fine to still be in the stage where you don't know. It's fine. You know, it's perfectly alright to be in a position where you honestly don't know if you're gay or straight or bi, or whether or not you even like anybody, whether or not you like sex, whether or not, was it asexual guy or girl or whatever. It's perfectly fine. And you know, and in 2014, it's really good now that we have such great support. We have the government on our side, either as just a winner of voters, or just because they're actually genuinely nice, decent human beings. It's good that we're at that stage, because that means that we are at a stage where it doesn't matter anymore. You can be proud of who you are, and it really doesn't matter. Yeah, of course, you've got to fit in with social norms, but now being gay is socially acceptable. Being homophobic isn't. It's the same. It's similar to smoking, I guess, actually, because being a smoker isn't socially acceptable. And bashing smokers is socially acceptable. But bashing gay guys, that isn't acceptable. Bashing lesbians, that also isn't acceptable. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say on the matter. Hit me up on Twitter, @AsYouChill, send me an email, asyoutchill@gmail.com. If you just want to talk about things, just hit me up and we can Skype or whatever if you really want to. In a that sounds dodgy, in a non-sexual way, just to talk about things. Yeah, and that's pretty much all I've got to say. Obviously, comment down below if you've got any experiences you want to share. I'd really love to hear people's responses. If anybody out there is gay and they've come out, and I'd really love to hear what your thoughts on this video have been and what you think. And it's not been the best in the world, but I've done about 5 takes of this now because I don't know what to say. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go and walk back home now. And I'm going to go and have tea because I'll have curry when I get back. And apart from that, I shall catch you in a later video.